I say that is because if they were to do that, not only would it give them a bigger roster to work with, more opportunities for people, men and women, to come in and apply the craft on a huge national basis, should the show remain on Destination America. But it would, like I said, it would increase the roster tenfold. You'd have more women in there to compete for the Knockouts title, to the point that you might even consider bringing back the Knockout tag titles. You'd have more tag teams coming in to compete to help beef up your tag team division. You would have more X division cruiserweight guys coming in to beef up your X division. And you'd have more contenders to come in to beef up your world heavyweight division. I mean, the options are there. To me, TNA needs to just realize that they have that option there. They need to at least realign, maybe, forgive and forget, make a partnership again with the NWA, and go from there. Even if it means, okay, you got to work with the NWA, and if the NWA says, okay, we want so-and-so who's not part of your company to be the NWA champion, be the guy that goes and represents not just us, but you guys as well, then so be it. That's unpredictability. That's something people like wrestling about, that you never know what's going to happen. And if they had an alliance again with the NWA, it would work out perfectly. But you see, that's on TNA. And when one looks back on it, yeah, at first it was great that they basically detached themselves from the NWA. Just like WCW and ECW did before them. But now looking back on it, it may have not been the best idea. Just saying. I'm just saying. So, to me, I think they need to reconsider maybe doing that. Because I think if they realign themselves with the NWA and form another partnership, that there's a possibility it's going to help them in the long run. It really is. And I agree. There's not many. I don't know all of the NWA promotions or territories or indie groups out there or anything, but I am pretty sure that there is enough out there that would help. That an alliance with TNA would really help TNA out, and I think they need to realize that. That's something they could do to help fix things, and that might be an attractive perspective for someone like Destination America to go like, oh, you got all these people now coming in, you got this partnership with the NWA, hey, we'll take it. Because think about this, Destination America, like the Discovery Channel and all the other networks, sort of has a historical perspective on stuff. They like to do a history, they like to look back on things. So, it would be crazy of them not to see something like a possible realignment with TNA and the NWA to say, hey, we could do a special on the history of the National Wrestling Alliance. It would work. It would really work. And I think TNA needs to realize that. And I think Destination America would like that. But again, this is something that, looking back on it now, TNA separating at first may have seemed good, but maybe it wasn't. When you especially look at the state they're in right now. And I heard what the Lex man had to say. And true, there's a lot of men and women that are probably looking to get out of TNA as soon as they can. But I think sometimes some of the contracts also have lockup deals. In other words, yeah, they can go compete on independent circuits if they want. They can compete in independent promotions and even go as far nowadays to even compete on pay-per-views. But there's certain stipulations, certain restrictions in their contract. Basically stating that they can't really work for anybody else. Well, not anybody else, but they have to stick with TNA no matter what. Through the good or the bad, they can't just up and leave because maybe TNA might sue them. I don't know. But again, that's just my thoughts on it, okay? And, for Deluxe Man, you want to come out and say that the men and women need to get out of there as soon as they can. Here's what I look at. if the rumors are true that TNA might be canceled, then yes, some of the most talented men and women that got there need to get the heck out of TNA. They need to go. Go to the GWF, help it grow. Go to Ring of Honor, go to AAA, go to New Japan, go to Lucha, go to NXT. Do what you have to do to make a living, if the rumors are true. Now, speaking of the rumors, some might say that TNA coming out and threatening to sue people like Meltzer, PWI Insider, and all these other wrestling sources for reporting basically false information. You know, Deluxe Man and other people might say that TNA's just trying to cover their own asses. That if there wasn't any truth to this, why is TNA threatening now to do something they could have done years ago when similar accusations happened? Why didn't they do this last year when they denied Spike TV was canceling them, and look what happened? Why didn't they do it then? It's like the Lex, man. It's like you said. Where there's fire, where there's smoke, there's a fire. And right now, the way things are going right now, with this rumor of yay or nay on the cancellation of Impact, this is basically what we call wildfire. And this wildfire is basically, let's put it this way, 45% under control. Because unless Destination America themselves come out and say, hey, there's no truth to us canceling Impact, unless they do that, then a majority of that wildfire is still going to spread, and it's going to burn everything up. And the forest that it's burning, the wilderness that it's burning is known as TNA. And if something doesn't come out that's going to help contain a majority of that fire, of that wildfire, then basically the wilderness known as TNA is going to go up in smoke and be no more. Now, some might say that TNA, you know, is lying and everything, and that it is true that they're going to get canceled. You know, if TNA is lying, the day that they do, this is the way I look at it. If TNA is lying, the day they go out of business finally, whenever that happens, whether it's silently go out of business, basically silently go out into the night and go out of business. You know, whether they silently go into the night and be no more. That sounds like a bird on the roof. Well, like I say, whether they go silently into the night and be no more. TNA is going to go down. And I'm sorry if I'm pausing here. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to say. TNA will go down as the most controversial and the most hypocritical and the most untrustworthy and poorly managed promotion in the history of the business. Even more poorly managed, poorly mismanaged, and untrustworthy than the original ECW was behind the scenes. And that's saying something. There really is. And all I can say is TNA and Destination America better do something quick. Because if someone doesn't come out on the Destination America side of things and deny the reports of canceling TNA Impact Wrestling, and it's only Impact Wrestling that's saying this, and then come September, we don't see Impact Wrestling on the program lineup anymore, then like I say, TNA, they're going to be the wilderness that gets burned to a crisp. They will go silent. They will go out silently. They will go silently into the night and be no more, and go down as the most controversial, most disappointing, most untrustworthy, and poorly mismanaged company in the history of the business since ECW, if not worse than ECW. And that's saying something. So, all I could say is something has to be done. In Destination America, they're the ones that need to come out and either deny these rumors and say they're false, or they need to come out and say that this rumor of them canceling Impact is true. Somebody's got to come out and say something, and it can't just be Impact. It can't just be Dave Meltzer. It can't be PWI Insider. It can't be all these other sources. It's got to come from Discovery Communications, and it's got to come from Destination America themselves. That's all I'm going to say, because I will agree on this. Like the Lex Man said, if the rumors are true, one thing I will agree. Anybody that has a future in this business that's younger than me, I'm almost 36 years old, has a future in this business, or at least could still, maybe even about my age or older, and could still go in this business, still go in that ring, I do agree with the Lex Man. Do what you have to. Get with your lawyers, get with your attorneys, get the F out, if you will, of TNA right now. Or do what you can to get out of there. Go to Ring of Honor, go to Japan, go to Lucha Underground, go to AAA, go to Chikara, go to Dragon Gate, go to NXT, go to Shimmer, go to Global Force. Do what you have to do. Save your careers. Save what little dignity and pride you guys have. Get out of that company if the rumors are true and work someplace else where at least you know you'll get paid decently. And even if it means for some of you that used to work up north for Vince McMahon, if it means swallowing your pride and going back up there and admitting you were wrong just to try to get some steady work, then do it. That's really all I have to say. But as far as TNA Impact Wrestling being canceled, we'll just have to wait and see whether it's true or it's not. You guys let me know what you think down below. I apologize if this was in multiple parts. Just had a lot to get off my chest, and I'll talk to you all later. But let me know what you guys think down below.